Hey guys, this is RC Projects 1966. I did a initial review kind of the dx3c of not really running it. I think I ran it once or twice at the time of the review. I've had the remote long enough now. I kind of want to do a long-term follow-up review of it. Learn a little bit more about the settings, talk to some people about some other remotes and this remote, comparing the two. So I think I got just a better understanding of the remote and everything. So kind of be a review number 2. The power button's at the bottom. One of the downsides to this remote is there's not a rechargeable battery pack in the bottom. It only takes 4 AA's, but I would like to see a either nickel metal pack like the receiver packs or LiPo or something else other than 4 AA's, because you know, just be able to throw it on the charger whenever you're at the track. But besides that, it's a 20 model memory. That's the main screen. I'm running my slash 4x4. It's model number 1. I only have one model on it. Going in here, you can choose different models. I've named different ones just to show you guys the different ones, but there's 20 of them. I'm going to go back down to the first one, otherwise it won't work. There's reversing. So some trucks, the turning servo has to work in reverse. Or if you install your some nitro trucks, the servo for the throttle will be backwards. So you have to change that to get it to work right. There's a bind, a sub trim. A sub trim would be once you get your normal trim close, use sub trim to fine tune the either steering or throttle. There's a timer. This is a really nice feature, especially for nitro guys. That let's say, you know, your fuel tank can last you 10 minutes and you're going to be running an hour-long main. So you go over here to down, come over here, and then just go, okay, so I know it's going to last 10 minutes, so we'll set it for 9, and I'll know I have to come into pit after 9 minutes. And then you go ahead and set it. You'll leave it at down, and then go back to the main menu. And it'll tell you when your time's up. Sorry, the focus is off. I'm having a hard time with this. Here's mixing. That's for the crawler guys. I don't really know how to work that very well, so I'm not going to try to explain that. Here's a feature that few people actually use on the remotes, that I'm one of the few people who don't use it. I just learned what it meant. I actually haven't tried to use it yet, but I'm going to try it out today. And what it is it's Expo. And what does Expo do? Most people don't use it because either they don't know what it is or they don't think it's important. It's probably the single most important thing on this remote. What it does is, let's say you're out driving and you're racing outdoors. So at the beginning of the day, they water the track down. So the track's real grippy. You're getting real good traction, so you know you're doing real good. Halfway through the day, the track dries out and they don't re-water it. Maybe your track only waters in the morning. So then they re-water their track. Or they don't re-water their track, sorry. Halfway through the day, and then your track gets real dusty, and it gets like real dusty on the top, but it's still hard underneath, and you start spinning out in the turns. Well, instead of trying to change your setup and then having to re-water the track the next time you go out and having to change your setup twice because the track's how it was in the morning, you can come over here to steering and you just turn your Expo down. And what that's going to make it do is it's going to make it turn slower. And then no one's really going to do this, but if you thought you're a really good driver and you're racing indoors, it was real sticky, you're racing on-road, you can have positive Expo too. I'm keeping mine at 0. Same thing with throttle. If you're spinning really, really hard, like let's say you're starting your A main or whatever, every time you start your main, whether A or B or whatever, and you go to take off and your truck's just spinning really, really bad, anytime you take off, come down here, and then the whole thing, how this remote's controlled, I actually think it's pretty cool. If you want to change them both, you can change them both like that. Let's say I only wanted to change my brake. Well, you'd pull the brake on the trigger, and when you do that, it goes up to brake. When you let off, it'll still stay there. So it's really nice for adjusting, or if you wanted to do for forward, you just pull the forward, and then it goes there, and then you can adjust just that one. So that's basically the technical side of this radio. Now just some of my opinions compared to my other remotes. My first computerized remote, all my other remotes have just been like stock stuff. I've owned 2.4 gigahertz. I run Traxxas remotes and some low-C remotes and a couple HPI remotes. And I've done airplanes too, so I've had airplane remotes. But one of the things that I really like about this remote is how good it feels in your hand. I thought the Traxxas ones were comfortable, but I mean this really fits your hand, and they kind of go that extra step to give you all the different grips. I don't have the grips here, all I have is a remote. But just having those extra grips, I mean I think I got the small grip or the medium grip on mine, and it just makes it feel so much more comfortable. So you can kind of personalize it, make it more suited for yourself. With this too, you can also put your name in it. So if you and your racing buddy or whatever both had the same remote, you could turn it on and look at it, and it would say whatever your name is. All these switches here are all programmable. That would be under systems. I can show that to you in a minute. The other thing I like about this is there's hardly any twitch. It's not very bouncy at all. Compared to like the Traxxas one that would go way over here and it goes like halfway back the other way. Come up here. It's under switch. So if you wanted A, which is this one, whatever you want it to, you just click on it and change whatever you want. I have mine set as the steering and then the throttle here. And then the steering rate and my brake. The remote is very light. It only, like I said, only uses 4 AA's. The one thing that I don't know so much if I know it's a complaint, but the one thing that I don't like about the remote is the range. And the reason why the range is hurt so much is because of the receiver. They made the receiver, I hate how they do these receivers. They give them these antennas like that long. Well, that's great because then you don't have to put a hole in your body and run it up through your body, and it makes the truck look messy. Problem is though, it's so short, it's so hard to get up in the air enough to make it have a good range. I had to put mine up on top of my servo, stick the antenna up, and then I could probably go out 100 or 200 yards. I had it to the point where I couldn't see it, driving out in a real grassy field. But if you want to mount it anywhere else, or if you put it inside a Traxxas waterproof receiver box, it won't even stick out. So when it's inside that box, your antenna won't stick out of the side of the box, and then your range is reduced to like 50 yards. So I wish that they could either increase the range and keep the antenna the same length, or make a longer antenna so you can run it up through a thing. If they could like double the antenna length, it would make the range so much better. So that's my honest review of this. It's a good radio still for the money, and it's really proven itself over time to me. I've talked to people that have the 3S, and they said that this thing basically has all the features that has, and that this is pretty much just as good other than the telemetry. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and talk to you guys later.